PlayStation's next big first-party game, being Concord, has been in a little bit of hot water as of late, and this is because of some fan reception. But let's find out why, up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. Now, a game called Concord has been at the center of a lot of conversation online, and this all has to do with the fact this title is a run-of-the-mill hero shooter game. And now that the hands-on beta came out, a lot of people are talking about it. And sure, the writing has been on the wall ever since this game got revealed at that state of play just a few months ago, but that's the thing with this story. Ever since then, things just keep getting worse. So at the start of this all, when we got our first look at actual gameplay for Concord, the like to dislike ratio on PlayStation's official YouTube channel was 70,000 dislikes to just around 6.7 thousand likes. And you'd think, since that video exists on the PlayStation YouTube channel, there would be a little favoritism, but clearly not. So now that brings us to the present day, because the open beta just went live last week. And you'd think opinions could possibly change because people are actually getting their hands on it. Well, that exactly isn't the case here. Things again just got worse. Now, the all-time peak concurrent player count on Steam was just around 2,388 players, at least at the time of this recording. Now I bring this number up for plenty of reasons. Now I think the biggest reason we should be focusing in on is the fact that this game is a live service multiplayer game, which relies on concurrent players. And with an all-time peak that looks like that, things start to look grim for Concord. But I also want to stress the point that this is just Steam numbers, and that does not include the numbers on the PS5, so things could possibly look a little different. But a number we do know from the world that is solely PlayStation players is the overall rating for the beta, which as of right now sits at 2.7 stars. That right there is a neon sign that people are not digging this style of game, and it shows you that Concord was released 5 years too late. The hero shooter market is one that is dominated by the likes of Overwatch and of course Valorant, and it's a space that's crowded with games just like it. To exist in the space of hero shooters, and let's just throw in battle royales here because I do think there's the same argument there, when you're in that competitive of a space, you really need to stand out. You need to have a defining trait or mechanic that shows players this is a one-of-a-kind experience you really can't get anywhere else. And if you don't do that, you're just another face in the crowd. But there is another thing you can do in this space that could make you stand out, and that's make a bunch of likable standout characters. And in my opinion, this is what really put Overwatch on the map amongst fans, because they were invested in all these heroes and stories. I mean, when Tracer came out, she was pretty recognizable across the board, and they kept adding people into the game that people were drawn to. Now, when we look at Concord, people just kind of lump them all in as a knockoff Guardians of the Galaxy, and they just kind of threw them away. I also just want to say in this department, and this is all my own take, I don't think these guys look that bad, but again, in this space, you need to stand out. Now, at the end of the day, when you look at the lack of originality and the lack of characters worth investing time in, this is the final result you get, and Concord is suffering. People view this game as yet another doomed hero shooter that's gonna faceplant upon launch. I also want to be clear, I hope this isn't the case for Concord, because I do want more competition within the gaming world. And I've been consistent on that matter, whether it's actual games or the console makers themselves. But as of right now, Concord kinda just looks like a dud, at least as of right now, again, but I hope that's not the case, but players aren't happy about it. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass it off to you guys. What do you think of Concord if you played it? But that about does it here. I've been Kalo, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.